Hi there, it's Lori Scherer with my partner.
Dan Karp with the Karp Group.
And we're going to talk today about the value of a backup offer or never assuming that something is a done deal until you actually get to closing. And I'd like to share an actual story that happened with my seller last week. We had a great offer on her property and the inspection was done just last Friday. It was a week ago. And the buyers were very excited. The seller was very excited. Everybody was enjoying each other's company. And then all of a sudden on Sunday, and by the way, the inspection was top, A plus. There was nothing that was a concern for the buyer. On Sunday morning, I get the call that the buyers are rescinding their offer. Personal reasons. I'm not going to get into the details on that. It had nothing to do with the condition of the home. And so I sprung into action, and that action consisted of a few things. Number one, our team was doing an open house on Saturday, and I did tell them to go ahead and do it, but to let whoever entered the open house that we did have a contract. You never know if that transaction may disintegrate, fall through for whatever reason. And as it was, one of the attendees of that open house was so excited to learn that the property was available. So we are now under contract with a purely cash buyer, and they are actually closing in 2.5 weeks.
With no inspection.
Well, they are actually able to utilize the inspection that was done by the prior buyer. The prior buyer really was generous and kind enough to share that. And based on the condition of the property and them being able to view that, they're comfortable with not doing their own inspection.
Yeah. So you locked it up for your
never
seller.
Give up.
Yeah, I'll share on the bulletproofing your offer, bulletproofing your transactions, kind of what we call it for the seller and for your buyer. We had a buyer who was very interested in a property in Hollywood, and they were coming down from New York. And this property was listed at $1.8 million, and we put in an offer for the buyer at $1.3 million. So quite a spread. And we got a verbal offer agreed to at 1.36. But once the seller knows that they're going to take that discount, anything above 1.36 for that seller is going to be a win. And so there was some urgency now to get this done. And our buyer had a little bit of, I don't want to say cold feet, but they were a little bit reserved and maybe too complacent. And they had an open house over the weekend, speaking from the seller side. And on Sunday, they came in and they got an offer of 1.425. And I told our buyer this was going to happen. We have this agreed. They're set on the price. Anything above it is a win. Let's go. And they signed an offer with a higher offer, $60,000+ more. Our terms were great, 30-day close, cash deal. And they ended up going with a higher offer. So now I encouraged the buyer to put in a backup offer because, again, we don't know what will happen with that first offer under contract. Unfortunately, we had to raise our offer a little bit to get it accepted, but you never know. So as a seller's rep, keep showing the house, right? Do the open houses, do the activities to make sure we're protecting our sellers. And on the buy side, let's put in that backup offer. We never know what's going to happen.
So I guess the moral of the story here is trust the advice that your professional real estate agent is guiding you with. They are really looking out for your own benefit. Yeah. So thanks for listening. You guys have a great day.